Good evening. The Town Hall meeting of the Bel Air Board of Town Commissioners for November 4th, 2024 is now in session at 7 p.m. And I'll call the roll. Commissioner Rutledge,
Here.
Commissioner Taylor,
Here.
and Commissioner Chance.
Here.
And Commissioner Chismar did let us know he couldn't be with us this evening. If you'll all stand and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I have a motion to approve this evening's agenda?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the agenda for this evening's meeting, November 4th, 2024, here at the Town Hall.
Thank you, Commissioner Chance. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All right, Mr. Grants?
Thank you, Madam Chair. For approval of this evening's agenda, November 4th, 2024, Commissioner Rutledge,
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor,
Aye.
Commissioner Chance,
Aye.
and Chair Edding.
Aye.
The agenda is approved. Thank you.
Next, we have the approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair, I move that the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meetings held on October 15th, 2024 and October 21, 2024 be approved as submitted, including minutes for the following meetings. October 15th, 2024, Commissioners' Work Session Meeting. October 21, 2024, Commissioners' Town Hall Open Meeting. October 21, 2024, Commissioners' Town Hall Closed Meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner Rutledge. Do I have a second?
Yes, I second it.
Thank you, Commissioner Chance. Any discussion of the minutes? All right, Mr. Krantz?
Thank you again, Madam Chair. For approval of the minutes of Bel Air Board of Town Commissioners, October 15th and October 21st, Commissioner Rutledge, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor,
Aye.
Commissioner Chance,
Aye.
and Chair Edding.
Aye.
The minutes are approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have on our agenda, finally, the presentation of the Certificate of Recognition to Rabbi Schusterman for the groundbreaking of the Hartford Haven Chabad. Finally. You don't take, okay. Finally, we have managed to get you here. It was a touch and go situation. I clearly had to go to Florida to save your daughter, right, from the hurricane.
You know, one thing at a time.
And one thing you had like,
You know, there's only one
much to
daughter.
do. That was only one daughter.
There's a few others.
Well, that one you had to go get because that was quite the storm. So let's step over to the podium. So we have our microphone, and you can either, right here's good, right here's good. So this presentation is for the Chabad Center for Jewish Life, whereas the town of Bel Air acknowledges the tremendous occasion for Hartford Chabad's groundbreaking a new facility, and whereas since 1955 the Jewish community has had a presence in Hartford County, and now a new Chabad Center for Jewish Life to be in the town of Bel Air, and whereas we acknowledge the sacrifice and commitment of the members who work so diligently to achieve the realization of this dream of the founding families, and now therefore be it resolved by the Bel Air Board of Town Commissioners, we do hereby recognize and affirm this historic occasion and welcome you to the town of Bel Air. So,
We take a picture?
we do.
There you
We
go.
do. Shall we stand up here?
You tell us where to go.
Everybody come down.
I'm married long enough to know you just follow instructions.
Just follow instructions. That's what I did. They just tell me where to stand, and that's what I did. And I see progress every day.
As Kevin knows, this has been a work in progress for a little while. I just want to thank the commissioners and the entire community for welcoming us to Hartford County. I can go person by person around of different things they've done for the Jewish community. The world is worried about anti-Semitism, about where are you welcome, and are Jews welcome, and Harford County and the town of Bel Air especially. I've lived in town. My first place where we lived when we moved in 2010 was in town, and where we live now is in town, so thank you for welcoming us. And last time, one of the times I was here, this place was full, and there was an agenda for like 4 hours. And I'm sure you guys really have nothing else to do other than sit. But if you want to hear a long sermon, you can come to services. Thank you again.
Thank you. All right, next up is the public hearing on ordinance 834-24, amending the sign regulations for construction sites. Any member of the public here who wishes to address the board? All right, Mr. Goddard, as usual, your name and address in 3 minutes.
Wayne Goddard, 128 North Bond Street. Thank you all for introducing this legislation at your prior meeting. Obviously, it's intended to provide a level of fencing, decoration, so that we can have our security fence, our safety fence screening while our construction is underway, which we also believe would be beneficial to the community because it will help the members of the community understand what the project is going to be, who's participating in it, what it's going to look like, and basically answer all the questions that sometimes people have, and they debate and they speculate and they conject on social media. We're going to answer the questions definitively rather than have them speculate. In addition to that, we believe that the safety barriers, a lot of companies, particularly in this economy, utilize them as advertisement because they're very proud to work on our projects and many other projects throughout the town. And for all of those reasons, we would ask that you favorably vote for ordinance 83-24. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goddard. Is there any other member of the public here this evening who wishes to address the board on this piece of legislation only? All right. There being no further comments from the public, we will close the public hearing at 7:07 and move on to our unfinished business, which is ordinance 834-24, amending the sign regulations for construction sites. Do I have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair. I move that ordinance number 834-24, revising Town Code Chapter 165, Article XV. Is that 45? No. 15, I'm sorry. Article 15, related to signs, be approved by Bel Air Board of Town Commissioners.
Thank you, Commissioner Rutledge. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Chance. Mr. Small, you want to give us the Reader's Digest version of this, or if the board cares to, we can just dispense with that. I know we've heard it several times. Anybody want to hear it again?
I think the Reader's Digest version would be
Okay, there you go.
For all the folks following along at home.
Exactly.
Properties under construction contain various images, lettering, graphics that require analysis regarding whether they are regulated under Part 3 of the code. Issues regarding construction materials, barriers for safety, screens for security become entangled in development regulation and that complicate both the interpretation by staff and adherence to the code by developers and contractors. The two sections that are before you restrict signs, still restricts signs on residential properties, but allows for signage on commercial properties to be erected without regard to regulation. And this would be things like size, number, height, and duration. So those would be two parts of the code that would be revised to allow construction signage in town without regard to regulation.
Thank you, Mr. Small. Anyone have any questions for Mr. Small? Any discussion? My view of this is it's screening the construction site. It's providing information about what is going on. It's not going to be in a residential neighborhood, and it's going to be time limited by the fact that the construction will eventually be finished and the sign will go down as the building is open for tenants.
I think this is one of those circumstances where we're bringing policy in line with practice when the practice really isn't a problem at all. This is a good thing. We don't want to be jamming people up or wasting precious time and resources when our planning department has many other things that they could be worried about. So I think this is good for the town. I think this is good for our stakeholders and partners in the community, and for that reason, I will certainly be supporting it and thank the staff for working on this and being able to come up with a good solution in really a short amount of time. This was a very well done process.
Anyone else? Okay. Mr. Krantz, we're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is for the vote to approve ordinance 834-24. Commissioner Rutledge,
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor,
Aye.
Commissioner Chance,
Aye.
and Chair Edding.
Aye.
The ordinance is approved. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Krantz. Also, under new business, we have first up the appointment to the Board of Appeals. Do I have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair. I make the motion that the appointment of Patrick Richards to the Bel Air Board of Appeals for a term of 3 years, effective immediately, be approved by the Bel Air Board of Town Commissioners.
Thank you, Commissioner Taylor. Do I have a second?
I second that.
Thank you, Commissioner. And Mr. Small, is this you?
Just to clarify, Patrick Richards is currently an alternate, and he would be made a full member. He's been up at the dais as a commissioner and also a member of Planning Commission. So he is well-versed in the code.
I think that's an understatement. And he has quite a bit of experience in the real estate business, so in his private capacity, so he really has quite the resume for this position. And he has served as an alternate for a while and on the Planning Commission as well as on the Board of Commissioners, so. All right, is there any public comment on the appointment to the Board of Appeals of Patrick Richards? All right, any discussion by the board?
I think he's clearly highly qualified, and it's a good fill.
All right, Mr. Krantz?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a vote for the appointment of Patrick Richards to the Board of Appeals. Commissioner Rutledge,
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor,
Aye.
Commissioner Chance,
Aye.
and Chair Edding.
Aye.
The appointment is complete. Welcome, Patrick Richards.
Next is the reappointment to the Cultural Arts Commission of Jeannie Close. Do I have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair, I recommend that the appointment of Jeannie Close to the Bel Air Cultural Arts Commission for a term of 3 years, effective immediately, be approved by the Bel Air Board of Town Commissioners.
Thank you, Commissioner Chance. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Taylor. Any, let's see, I think this is Rich. Yes. Ms. Robertson, sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Jeannie Close has served as a member on the Cultural Arts Commission for many years now and currently serves as our chairperson for that commission. She brings a lot of ideas, and we welcome her for another 3 years if you will consider her for reappointment this evening.
Thank you so much. Is there any public comment on the reappointment to the Cultural Arts Commission of Jeannie Close? All right. Any discussion by the board?
I would just like to say, as the commissioner who represents the town board at their meetings, I am that person, and Jeannie has done an outstanding job as chair and tries very hard to keep the group moving and doing really some wonderful things in town. So I certainly approve that.
I'm so glad that she's agreed to be reappointed. Anything else about this appointment? All right, Mr. Krantz?
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the vote of the reappointment of Jeannie Close to the Bel Air Cultural Arts Commission, Commissioner Rutledge, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor,
Aye.
Commissioner Chance,
Aye.
and Chair Edding.
Aye.
The appointment is approved. Thank you.
Next is the appointment to the Historic Preservation Commission of Sean Campbell. Do I have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair. I move that the appointment of Sean Campbell to the Bel Air Historic Preservation Commission for a term of 3 years, effective immediately, be approved by the Bel Air Board of Town Commissioners.
Thank you, Commissioner Rutledge. Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Chance. And Mr. Small?
I'm fully familiar with Mr. Campbell, but from reading his application, it seems that he has a lot of experience dealing with historic properties through his previous job, and I believe that he'll make a nice addition to the Historic Preservation Commission.
Thank you. Any members of the public who wish to comment on the appointment of Sean Campbell to this position? No? Any comments by the board?
we're fortunate to have good qualified applicants, particularly in this position. We needed one that was a town resident. So this is one of those commissions I'm the liaison to for the Board of Commissioners. And I know they'll be happy to be fully staffed. They seem to be pretty busy.
And I know Sean has been looking for a way to volunteer in the town, and I think this is a great fit for him, great opportunity for him to serve on a board that he's got real interest in. Great, all right. Anything else from the board? All right, Mr. Krantz?
Thank you, Madam Chair, for the vote for the appointment of Sean Campbell to the Bel Air Historic Preservation Commission. Commissioner Rutledge,
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor,
Aye.
Commissioner Chance,
Aye.
and Chair Edding.
Aye.
The appointment is approved. Thank you.
All right, public announcements. It's a long list this evening. If anyone was unaware, Election Day 2024 is tomorrow, Tuesday, November the 5th. Polls will be open in Harford County between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. To find your polling place, you can check your voter registration card or visit the Harford County Board of Elections website, harfordvotes.gov. Get out and make your voice heard at the ballot box. On November the 7th, from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. at the ShopRite Festival, celebrity baggers from the town of Bel Air, being Commissioner Chance, will help bag your groceries as part of Klein's ShopRite Help Bag Hunger. Also, Klein's again is donating a percentage of all gross receipts from their 6 Harford County stores that day to the Harford County Empty Stocking Fund to jumpstart the fund's annual countywide holiday season campaign. Certainly a good cause. The Harford County Veterans Family Resource Fair is happening Saturday, November 9th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Bel Air Armory. This is an opportunity for local veterans and their families to get information about VA claims, health and wellness, housing and employment opportunities, as well as discounts available to veterans. Attendees can enter a raffle to win a gift card or Baltimore Ravens tickets. Enjoy free food from Mission Barbecue, plus there will be children's entertainment. You can call 443-966-4518 or email vetcommission@harfordcountymd.gov for more information. The Historical Society of Harford County's annual lecture is Saturday, November the 9th from 2 to 4 p.m. in the Historic Society headquarters at 143 North Main Street here in Bel Air. Dr. Amy Rosenkrantz will discuss the American Revolution hero, the Marquis de Lafayette, and his travels in Harford County both during the war and his farewell tour of the United States in 1824, 200 years ago. Admission is free. Call 410-838-7691 or visit harfordhistory.org to reserve your spot. All Town of Bel Air offices will be closed Monday, November the 11th in observance of Veterans Day. Residents whose household trash is picked up on Mondays will have theirs picked up on Wednesday, November 13th. Loose leaf and yard waste will not be picked up Monday, and there will be no bulk trash collection on Wednesday. Please call the Department of Public Works at 410-638-4536 with any questions. Are you interested in being part of the Town of Bel Air's annual Christmas parade? If so, you have until Monday, November the 25th to register as a parade participant. Visit belairmd.org to fill out an application. The 34th annual Christmas celebration is scheduled for Sunday, December the 8th, featuring the parade along Main Street, followed by a holiday concert and bonfire in Shamrock Park, ending with the Christmas tree lighting. The Appearance and Beautification Committee will meet at 7 p.m. on Monday, November the 11th at Town Hall. The Tree Committee will meet at 4:30 p.m. Wednesday, November 13th at the Bel Air Planning Department at 705 East Churchville Road. The Economic and Community Development Commission will meet at 5 p.m. Thursday, November 14th in the Bel Air Armory Conference Room. The Board of Town Commissioners will hold a work session at 5:15 p.m. Tuesday, November 12th in Town Hall, and the next Town Hall meeting will be Monday, November the 18th at 7 p.m. here in Town Hall. Winter Wonderland is only a few weeks away, and if you would like to help make the magic happen, you can help at the Armory on Saturdays from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. If you're interested in being a vendor at the Winter Wonderland Market on December 7th, you can email winterwonderlandmarket21014@gmail.com to receive an application. It all starts on November 30th with the downtown lighting when the lights go on for the first time along Main Street. I will be there, and I'm sure I'm going to have plenty of company. And finally, the Maryland Department of Natural Resources is implementing a statewide ban on open burning, which became effective November 1st in all Maryland counties. There are extremely dry conditions that have persisted across the state and have led to an above-average number of wildfires statewide, and conditions are not expected to change in the near future. The ban will remain in effect until the Maryland Forest Service determines the state has received enough precipitation to reduce the threat of wildfire statewide. And Mr. Hopkins, our town administrator and resident subject matter expert in all things related to fires, has a few things to add on this topic.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I wanted to clarify this for our town residents. Excuse me. This burning ban does affect our town residents. Even though our Bel Air Town Code allows for supervised fires, such as fire pits and so forth, Maryland state law will supersede our town code. If you go to DNR, Department of Natural Resources website, you will see that they will identify open fires to also be contained within a fire pit. The only thing that what's covered is things like incinerators and other such protected devices that are used where they're fully enclosed. Fire pits, for example, as we know them, most people have them, this is that time of year, actually are covered under under the ban on open burning. Discussing this with the chief, DNR has, through state law, police would be one of the enforcement authorities. So technically, people who would see a fire pit could call, police could investigate. I would like to think that we would err to the side of giving people a warning, and most fire pits we know are generally contained. They're really not going to be an issue. My challenge is that people are really associating this burn ban with wildland fires, and for 90% of the calls, that's true. Bel Air is blessed to be a tree community, as identified by MNL. We have the certificates. We have a lot of trees, brush. A lot of our developments will back up to wooded areas. Most people don't understand the distance that a spark can travel, and given as dry as it is, it could potentially set something on fire. But what people won't realize is that in many cases, it will smolder, and sometimes smolder for days. I have personally seen mulch fires smolder for 2, 3, 4 days, up to 2 weeks, where it's burned its way underground into the substructure of a residence and set the house on fire. I've also seen brush fires where a person was killed. The fire consumed the leaves and consumed him at the same time. So this is not something to be really just blown away like it's no big deal. It's a pit fire, it's contained. Yes, 90% of the time that's true. But there's always that one opportunity where the spark can get loose and cause a problem. And as Mr. Klein will attest to, everyone is putting their bulk leaves at the street, which can create even more of a problem. So, and if we get any winds whatsoever, it can certainly push fire towards any structure on the property. So as much as I don't want to be the Grinch for Thanksgiving or for fire pits, reality is we have to be cognizant of that. I'm not going to tell people that we're not going to enforce it. We will certainly dispatch police if we're so called, and I would like to think that we'll give a warning. The warning will be heeded. But if it's a repeated occurrence to a home, there's potential for us to get involved, DNR, and the fines are rather steep. We just want people to be really cognizant and smart, not trying to harsh their fun in any way, shape, or form. So thank you for the opportunity to comment.
What I was surprised at was it also covers like charcoal briquettes in a grill, because that
correct.
counts as an open fire. You can use your gas grill, is
Yes.
my understanding, but the charcoal briquettes also have the same problem, I guess, with sparks. So that was news to me, but I don't have a charcoal briquette grill, so I won't worry about it too much. But it, yeah, it's best to be safe, certainly with all the dry leaves that we have around town, sitting in piles. That would be terrible. All right. And now we are up to public comments. Any member of the public here that wishes to make a comment on anything, it doesn't have to be something that we discussed this evening. No? Can I ask a question? Certainly.
Regarding the sign ordinance, does that mean, if I understood it correctly, my name is Cushy Schusterman, 445 Troy Street, Bel Air, Maryland, 21014. Right? You're supposed to say your name and address and all that stuff.
You
I've
did
been here
well.
before. So does that mean technically, now that this has been passed, or if it goes into effect immediately, all that, I could put up a sign whatever size I want, without asking anyone permission, of whatever material I want, as long as it's not a fire?
I'm going to have Mr. Small address that.
Right, for your
Let's say I
building
put-
that you're constructing on
Let's say I put
Broadway?
a sign by the fence that says, "The New Hartford Haven, 20 feet tall, 50 feet wide," as long as it's on my frontage,
Yes,
on a technical level. I'm not saying that I'm planning on doing that. Although I did have some crazy ideas in the past 20 minutes, There's a,
so the answer is yes. If it's related to what you're building, yes.
okay, so that was question one. And question two about the charcoal grill. If the grill's closed, is it now a contained fire?
As I understand it, no. is specifically enumerated in the law as one of the ones that you can't have even with the lid closed.
All right, we'll have
So,
to use the gas grill.
Reality is nobody's probably going to see a flame from the street, but the other reality is people a lot of times will dump their briquettes in the grass, in the dirt, and they think there's no fire potential, and they don't worry about it. They go into bed for the night, and the next morning they wake up with a fire. So yes, it is included in the prohibitions.
Sounds like a deal. It's good. My grill has a charcoal side and a gas side, so I'm good.
Stick to gas.
Thanks.
Madam Chair, if I may also add,
Absolutely.
the Christmas in Bel Air website launched on November 1st, which includes information about all the events happening in the town of Bel Air, including the Christmas parade and events at Shamrock Park, as well as Winter Wonderland, as you already mentioned. But it also includes all the concerts and green sales and open houses, candlelight tours, all of that
It
sort of
was a
thing.
long list. I did
It is a
look
long
at it,
list.
but I didn't want to
Yes.
read all that.
Yes. So also information on that website about the free parking initiative, Winter Wonderland details, and shopping and dining in Bel Air for the holidays.
There's a lot that's going to be going on
Yep.
really quickly here.
Mhm.
So count the
Madam
days to
Chair.
Christmas.
If I could piggyback off of
Absolutely.
Angela Robertson, the Harford County Bar Association, which I'm a member of, every holiday season attempts to raise funds for a nonprofit or a community organization that does good works in Harford County. This year, we thankfully, with Chief of Police Chuck Moore's permission, we have want to support the Bel Air Bel Air Police Department's annual Shop with a Cop program. It's a program where the police officers take deserving children out to buy Christmas presents. And we are looking forward to working with the police department in doing that. This was an idea that came up between myself and my colleague, Stephanie Burton Bragg, who is president of the Bar Association this year. And so far, within a week, we have raised $2,000 for Shop with a Cop. My firm has put up $500, and Mr. Goddard and his alter egos have put up the remaining $1,500. So we're just getting started, but we will close contributions at our Christmas party on December 19th, and want to thank Chuck Moore for allowing us to work with him this year. Thank you.
I think that's a really great cause because all children should have a terrific Christmas.
And I want to thank you and Mr. Goddard back for supplementing and greatly increasing the funds that we have to go out there and do great things for these deserving kids and their families. So thank you. Well, thanks, Molly.
And we're not done yet, Chuck. I'm just getting started.
All right.
I can only imagine.
That is. Anything else? No? All right. In that case, commissioners' comments?
This is going back a week and a half now, but I wanted to congratulate Angela and the Department of Economic Development for a very well done town award ceremony, very well attended. The food was excellent. I got a new caterer in the belt. I was very happy about that, but especially because it was a night about our award winners, and our award winners were well honored. They do so much collectively for the town and individually, and I was very happy to see, as always, your shop put on an excellent evening to honor them. So congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. It was a fun week recognizing businesses and individuals who make a difference in our community.
Absolutely. It was a great week for the town. I also wanted to briefly mention that last week, the town of Bel Air hosted a delegation from Matthias Corvinus Collegium, which is a college in Hungary. The delegation from Hungary was visiting local governments across Harford County, and they came to stop by Bel Air Town Hall. I was happy to host them for about an hour. I had the town administrator there with me to welcome them, and then they peppered me with questions, as any good, college class would. They were very interested in learning about American local government and how things work stateside. Hungary is very much a NATO ally and a partner country, but there are a lot of things that work very differently over there in Eastern Europe than they do here. So we had a great time talking about not just how government works in America, but how we do things here in Bel Air and the values of Bel Air and what makes us a great small town. And we learned that things like public safety, safe streets, prosperous businesses, things like that, making sure your wastewater doesn't blow up in your backyard, those values are pretty universal. They like those things over in Hungary just as much as we like them in Bel Air. So it was a great moment of cultural exchange, and I'm very proud of the town for being able to share in that moment.
Anyone else? No? All right. In that case, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor? Aye. We're adjourned.